The law of attraction is real. And whatever energy you're putting off, you're bringing back in. So if you're putting off negativity and fear and victim-mindedness and hatred and anger and pessimism, you're just going to bring that all back in and you're going to be tortured internally. But if you're putting out love and gratitude and positive thoughts and feelings and you're just doing things every day that make you feel proud of who you are, dude, you're bringing that back. You're feeling that internally. That's how you create inner peace. That's how you create success. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Crane, and we're fired up, man. We are on fire over here. We're never going to stop. We're going to show up every day. Hey, even if there's a tornado, I'm going to film this podcast, right? Even if Kamala Harris won, I'd still be at the gym this morning. I'd still be filming a podcast. Dude, nothing's going to stop me in life from pursuing my purpose, sharing information, being a good person. The most important thing is when you go to sleep at night, you know you're being the best version of yourself. I'll never stop doing things every day that help me to be the best version of myself. So some of you are all distraught over the election. You're just, oh my gosh, you're just all emotional. Get over it. Focus on what you can control. Life's going to be beautiful going forward. I promise you that. Believe that. I believed that when I was in a prison cell. Dude, I remember turning 25 and I'm sitting there in this concrete box and I'm like, holy shit, I got 5 more of these in front of me. And the year before that, I didn't know how many more I had in front of me. But one thing I didn't do is I didn't lose hope or faith, and I didn't stop working on myself. And I started to believe that if I just kept fighting, things were going to get better for me. And because I believed that, I kept fighting and showing up for myself every day. And guess what happened? Things got better for me. So at the core of your being and the way you operate and live your life, you have to have that optimism and that belief that things are going to continue to get better for you if you do the right thing each and every day. The law of attraction is real. And whatever energy you're putting off, you're bringing back in. So if you're putting off negativity and fear and victim-mindedness and hatred and anger and pessimism, you're just going to bring that all back in and you're going to be tortured internally. But if you're putting out love and gratitude and positive thoughts and feelings and you're just doing things every day that make you feel proud of who you are, dude, you're bringing that back. You're feeling that internally. That's how you create inner peace. That's how you create success. It's not money and digits in your bank account. It's not the car you drive. It's the way you feel. That's the most valuable thing that you possess. I can't stress that enough. Personal development is the most important thing that we need to be focusing on a daily basis to create successful lives. Because by default, you get the stuff. The stuff becomes easy to attain. What, you want a fucking watch to make you feel like a great person? You want a Lamborghini? You want a nice house? Well, yeah, we want stuff. It's okay to want nice things and to accumulate them over time. But dude, work on yourself and become the best version of you. Your number one asset. Unbreakable mindset. Unstoppable habits, a body and a physique that looks like a superhero, an action figure, not Gumby, not skinny fat. That's not inspiring. You can't thrive in an unhealthy body. You can't have positive thoughts in an unhealthy body. Maybe when you're younger, you get away with it, but over time, you start to deteriorate. Take care of your body. Put good food in your body. Nourish your body, right? Build your physique up. Challenge yourself in the gym. Go out on long runs. Seek to learn new things too. You got to be curious, man. Are you seeking out new information? Most people haven't read a book since high school. They read the books they're forced to read. What about the books you get to read? What about the information that's out there that could just change your life? The craziest thing for me is seeing people that aren't inspired and they stay the same. They stay in the same shitty job that's paying them low money for long periods of time, and they struggle. It shocks me. They don't change their health circumstances, even though they want to get skinnier, they want to lose weight, they want to have abs. You know what you want. You want a better relationship, but you don't go out on date nights. You don't put your phone away when you get home. You're not really putting an effort in. The craziest thing to me is seeing so many people who want a better, a different life than they have, but they're not doing anything about it. What the hell are you doing? I could not stay in a job that I hated for more than an hour. I could not stay in a relationship I hated for more than an hour. Dude, if I looked in the mirror right now and I was disgusted with my physique, I wouldn't eat again until I was happy. I would run all fucking day. I would start working out like a maniac. I would get obsessed. And so why? Why am I different than some of the people that I'm talking about? Why? Why do I feel that way? Because I want to get the most out of this life and I want to know that I'm doing everything I can to reach my full potential. Why? Why does that matter? Because I don't want to get to a point in my life where I look back and realize I could have tried harder. Well, why does that matter? Why does that matter, Sean? Because I don't want to look back on life and have regrets and realize that I could have gotten more out of this life, because as I get older, my lifespan shrinks. And so like, why does that matter, right? Like, this is what you guys got to do to yourself. Why does that matter? Because I got to a place in my life where I looked back on a decade and I was really embarrassed and shocked with how I lived and how I underperformed and how I settled and how I let excuses and trauma from the past and my victim-mindedness stop me from going after the life I really wanted. And so why does that matter? Because I sat there in so much pain for so long, and I realized that I could have avoided that pain, and instead I could have had joy and love, and I could have felt really good about myself. You see, at the end of the day, you got to know why you do what you do. And a lot of you habitually do things that don't serve you because you haven't stopped to really generate that type of awareness and reflect on where you're going in your life. And one of the biggest things that I could teach you guys is that you got to stop and ask yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I not changing? And you got to continue to ask yourself why until you get to the truth. Because what's really happening is you don't know what's at stake because you haven't gone through a situation like I did where your life was over. Very few people have gone through a set of circumstances where they thought their entire life was over and they had to reflect on who they had lived as and what they had done. And if you did, and if all of you listening right now realize that you had a day left and you look back on the 20, 30, 40, 50 years that you just lived, you'd be fucking ashamed that you didn't try harder. You'd be remorseful, wishing that you had more time. And you'd be shocked because it was all over and that was the life that you lived. And you would be tormented by the truth. See, if you could tap into that pain now or that understanding now or that truth now, it could radically change your life. And that's what happened to me. And so every day I'm always putting myself under the microscope and I'm asking myself, am I being the best dad for my children? Like when they talk to me, do they feel my presence? Am I paying attention? Am I giving them the most beautiful life? Am I giving them love at the highest level? Am I doing everything I can to protect them, to teach them, to guide them? And then the same thing for my wife. Am I being the most supportive husband? Does she feel my love? Are we growing stronger together? Are we growing more intimate, more connected, more on fire as the years pass by? You know, and then the same with the way I impact people. Am I getting sick and tired of people's excuses and telling them they're fucking pussies instead of being empathetic sometimes? Am I being a good leader? Am I speaking the messages that are going to change people's lives? Am I doing enough to reach more people? Could I be doing more? Should I be getting on some bigger podcast? Should I write another book? Should I be posting more content? Like, I'm always thinking about how I could soak up every last drop of this life and how I could give back at the highest level. And I'm looking at every area of my life, my personal development, my relationships, my impact, my success in my business, the reach that we can have collectively. And I'm always looking under the microscope thinking, how can I get better today? What can I do to just move forward and get that much better? And I'm always making sure that I'm not backsliding or making mistakes. Dude, if you could develop that type of self-awareness and you know what drives you and why you need to change, and you start to tap into that deep-seated emotion and energy that you possess, you could become so fucking unstoppable in your life. It's a high like no other. Most people will never experience that because you're so surface level and dumbed down by the food you're eating, the entertainment you're consuming, the loss of motivation. You gave up, man. That's the biggest thing I see. People gave up. They gave up. Dude, you gave up after high school? Like, you gave up during high school? You know how young some of you are? I changed my life at 30 years old. That's when I got the chance to get out and prove to the world who I am. You could change your life at any time. 40, 50, 60. Dude, if you change your life now and you're 60 and you die at 62, it would be the most fulfilling 2 years of your life. You will tap into so much gratitude and love and joy. And all those years that you didn't change will make sense because you finally did change. Like, don't make excuses. Don't think about why you can't do stuff in your life. I'm telling you, you got to go all in because you only get to do this once. Let's go.